Born 1922. Dave Rothman. And been around for a little while. I got out of the service, and in those days we used to have what we call kitchen range burners. And not having work when I got out, my father was in a stove business, so I picked up on the oil burners, and I cleaned oil burners in and around this whole area. In those days, that's what they were doing. So that's how I originally got here. Then after that, I worked in repairing appliances, so jobs took me to this area as well as other places. Back in the 60s, we took over the store. There was just one store. That was the first one. And gradually it expanded. And when I retired, Ken took it over. Mostly Italian people who had immigrated to this area because it's an Italian area. Other than that, it was similar to other places, similar to South Boston and their ethnic people, and places that had other groups that were that way. But this was more or less a very close-knit neighborhood. And people were very good. I mean, in those days, it was everybody talked to each other through the windows. And today it's all with telephones, but in those days it was a lot closer to, people were a lot closer to each other. It was a very nice neighborhood. And it gradually became, you know, young people and college kids and people working in the area who didn't want to have a car and could walk to work. So basically that's what it was. People who came here from overseas, you know, started to get older, had children. Children grew up and moved out. And it changed the neighborhood because all you had left were the older parents who stayed here. The younger kids went to Medford and Somerville and East Boston and, you know, spread out. And gradually, you know, people die off. They weren't being replaced with immigrants at that point. I think we were still getting people who were immigrated from Italy or other places, but mostly from Italy, came until about 67, 68, something like that. Then gradually it stopped. When that stopped and younger people moved in and took over, it was a close-knit neighborhood because rents were cheap. They were co-water flats. They weren't condos like there are today. And this area became restaurant town.